across the island since a major operation in West Kingston. Police blotters show that over the past 7 days, there have been just 10 murders across the island, less than 2 per day, when the average is almost 5 per day. 10 persons were arrested in the Clarendon capital Maypen yesterday in a crackdown on unlicensed cash for gold traders. 8 of those arrested are from Spanish Town and St. Catherine. The police also seized thousands of dollars in cash, jewelry, 12 scales and a dozen cellular phones. Lawmen say they are growing increasingly concerned about trends in the burgeoning trade in the parish.
We are determined in this parish to ensure that persons who apply the gold for cash trade comply with the law, and we remain resolute with our anti-crime initiative in this parish. We're warning persons who are involved in such trade to ensure that they are in compliance with the law.
Already hampered by resource constraints, the Jamaica Constabulary Force is now faced with the additional challenge of restoring some of its critical police posts in Kingston. Overall, 14 stations were damaged during last week's disturbances, and while it's still unclear whether any damage assessments have been done, it could cost the authorities millions. We visited some of the stations today.
Our journey began at the Denham Town station, which reportedly came under attack by gunmen during the West Kingston unrest. Behind the bullet-riddled entrance, it was business as usual. Farther down on Darling Street stood what was once the police station. Thugs set it ablaze. It's still unclear whether any documents were salvaged from the station, but all that's left is rubble. When we spoke to vendors from the area, they noted that the police post was necessary to maintain some semblance of order during peak times in the busy shopping zone. At the Flesher's Land station, the officers were hard at work despite the 3 days of unrest. A resident from the area died during one of the confrontations. The police say they came under attack from gunmen with high-powered weapons. There were 4 officers stationed at the post at the time.
I'm not sure where the call came from, but somebody said men were seen with high-powered weapons coming up to the station, and most of them went upstairs. There was just one female downstairs at the time of the shooting. The 3 other persons went upstairs. Very soon thereafter, backup came because by then it was broadcast on the police radio. Just looking at the way forward, kind of not sure how to make that first step, but we're here. And as my constable told the pastors today, the work must go on. So we will indeed do the work we're here to do. The police community relations in this community was very good before, and I am sure it will be maintained.
In Hannahtown, residents are distancing themselves from reports that they set the station ablaze.
And there's nobody here destroyed. It's be a stranger destroy the station. Nobody from the community.
I couldn't do nothing about it because it was just out of van.
They say they're prepared to work with the security forces to help clean up the debris.
When you have any problem, you can run to them for different type of help. For help with children, we have the police youth club. We have a good basketball field here. We have a good basketball, a netball team, a basketball team. It was good inside here. And parenting workshop, CDC group. Everything, everybody tried to participate in something inside here, working with the police.
A man, some say, was suffering from depression was found hanging from an electrical cord in Buckfield, Oteria, St. Anne this morning. A crowd gathered in the area after 23-year-old Michael Chandler was found by neighbors suspended from an ackee tree. The incident occurred around 11 this morning. Relatives and loved ones were overcome with grief at the sight of his body. It's reported that Chandler got into an altercation with family members yesterday.
And a man was also shot and killed at Burlington Avenue off Eastwood Park Road around 4 o'clock this afternoon. CVM News has learned that he has been identified as Damien Wright, a bearer of an unknown address. According to the police, Wright was traveling on his red motorcycle, and while slowing down at an intersection, men armed with guns shot him several times and then escaped on his motorcycle. A motive for his killing is not yet been established.
Public Defender Earl Witter has written to the Bureau of Special Investigation and copied Police Commissioner and Deputy Commissioner in charge of crime about measures to help ensure transparency in investigations.
Present the weapons, identify and preserve all crime scenes or all potential crime scenes in Tivoli Gardens are the immediate recommendations from the Public Defender. For Earl Witter, what is also critical in removing all doubts over alleged extrajudicial killings by the security forces is a documentation of the identities of the security personnel to whom the weapons were issued. This, as pointed out by Mr. Witter, is especially important since masks were worn by many of the law enforcers. If there's to be any merit to the allegations from residents that innocent men from Tivoli were executed, Earl Witter further points to the fact that without the weapons being taken out of service for the purpose of ballistic examination, in the event that spent shells or fragments are recovered from the bodies of individuals killed during the operation, how would it be determined if they were discharged from weapons used at the time? The integrity of that process, he says, would be severely compromised, if not rendered useless, unless all weapons used at around that time are in fact examined by ballistic experts. Otherwise, it would be difficult, if not possible, he argues, to resist the suggestion or conclusion that relevant weapons were deliberately excluded in order to suppress evidence of a relation to the killings. Mr. Witter says of the scores of security personnel injected into Tivoli, only some 25 firearms assigned to certain members of the police have been taken out of service for examination, information over which Mr. Witter has expressed surprise. Now, could all the alleged killings have been done by only police officers? Meanwhile, the issue of marginalization has also surfaced in comparing the treatment of a residence in Kirkland Heights, where a killing occurred during the search for coke, as against the scene in Tivoli. 15 venues have come up for mention where 23 persons were alleged to have been killed in Tivoli Gardens, with the possibility of similar allegations surfacing in relation to operations elsewhere. CVM News was told that up to Wednesday, the stench of blood in the West Kingston community was forbidding, and that soldiers were allegedly instructing residents to clean their houses. One man who said he was unable to endure the odor reportedly did just that. The question, however, has there been too far a delay since the representations and recommendations? It's understood that so far Mr. Witter has not received a response, much less an acknowledgement. And more iWatch Now, you may need to be on the lookout if you drive along the Bogwalk Gorge in St. Catherine. iWatcher A. Lindsay took this picture just moments after those rocks fell onto the road. A number of persons were in a car destined for Linstead when the rocks fell just after they had passed. Now do keep sending us those pictures and video of anything you think is newsworthy to iWatch@cvmtv.com, and you can also check us out